After a very eventful day in the zone, Skif found himself back at the slag heap. He had spent the day investigating the old Noontide base for the source of a C radiation signal that turned the Noontiders into Monolithians again. Skif eventually found the source of the signal was a C radiation beacon emitting from deep within the base. After completing his task and checking in with Ladushka, his pack was heavy and his feet were weary. Skif knew he had to go to the coordinates sent by Richter. However, he had had a massive few days and needed time to reflect. It was for that reason that he chose to head to the slag heap, to offload his pack, get his weapon serviced, and enjoy some much needed R&R. After a good night's sleep, he could perhaps think a bit clearer and figure out what to do next. As the drinks flowed at the slag heap, Skif felt his weary body starting to ease. Once Skif had ate and drank his fill, he headed to bed for the evening. For the first time in a while, Skif felt relatively secure going to sleep. After all, he was staying in a large fortified building with people he could trust, or at least he thought he could trust. As Skif lay his tired body down on the bed, he felt the warm embrace of the Cossacks' vodka. He felt his tense muscles relaxing, and before long, his consciousness slipping. And then, he began to dream.
What do you want? Sit down and stay out of sight. Apologies, Captain, but Zalissya is a free trade zone. We have an agreement with Chornobyl. Well then, in times of war, the law falls silent. Listen up, guys. There's something going on over at the S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Gunfire and shit. Don't want to freak anyone out, but they mentioned Monolith. Here's the plan. Those with enough zone experience, meet me at the bar. We'll figure out how to defend Zalissya if they decide to pay us a visit. No greenhorns for now. Stay put and don't try to be a hero. If you're scared, Warlock's got something to calm your nerves.
Upon awaking the next day, Skif felt well rested, but also curious, and pondered his dream. While he went to get provisions for the day, he thought to himself, what could all this mean? He had received a number of radio transmissions the previous day regarding an attack on the sphere in the Lesser Zone region. He knew if the Monolithians were to get to the sphere, that more than likely Zalissya was on the path. Therefore, there was a very good chance that Zalissya has been hit already. And for that reason, Skif decided to temporarily put off meeting S.T.A.L.K.E.R and head south to check if Zalissya is okay. So, south he went on a very stormy day, yet again. Zalissya, of course, was the first town Skif entered upon entering the zone. The town he landed in when he was almost on death's door. He arrived with no gear, no coupons, and no ammunition. However, this is the town responsible for giving Skif the platform to get back on his feet and giving him the opportunity to get what he needed to explore the deeper zone. He was fond of the settlement and had grown quite fond of its people, and it was for this reason that Skif felt compelled to see if everything was okay. As Skif crossed the border into the Lesser Zone, a sense of worry built in him, having just received a very troublesome radio transmission from the Gaffer, the leader of the Zalissya town.
Zalissya is requesting assistance. Our forces are stretched thin, and the fanatics are still advancing. Damn it. Can anybody hear me?
Skif hurried towards the town as his worst fears were confirmed. Zalissya was in trouble. Skif joined the resistance against the Monolithians and fought with everything he had, as always. Could he get the job done this time? Let's find out. And of course, Skif got the job done once again. Then he headed towards the gaffer to find out what's going on.
Thanks for coming to our aid, Skif. Just your luck, right? Every time you show up in Zalissya, the shit hits the fan. Last time it was the ward, and now it's Monolith. Glad to see you're still alive. There ain't many of us left. Everyone who didn't run off and didn't get killed is here. As you can tell, we could really use some extra hands.
Why didn't you leave the area?
What's the point? Trust an old-timer. Once a Monolithian is on your tail, the only way to get rid of him is to kill him.
Tell me what happened here.
The Monolithians came to Zalissya. An entire army of them. I had no clue there were so many left. I tried to get a defense together, but I couldn't do much with these rookies. I took as many folk as I could to safety. Eventually, the fanatics moved on. But as you can see, some of them stuck around.
How can I help out?
Our supplies are running thin. Warlock is working on it. You can discuss it with him. Lenz's injury is getting worse. But the biggest problem is defending Zalissya. Remember our guide? We called him Uncle Leonia. He was a Monolithian all along. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw him leading their squad. A second later, he ordered them to open fire at us. That's when I had to accept the truth. Luckily, I know where the bastard is when he's not out there killing his own comrades.
How do you know he's hiding there?
I warned the other stalkers about him. Told them to hold him at gunpoint if he ever showed up again. They spotted the bastard and reached out to me.
You didn't know about his past? How did he end up as a guide here?
I didn't have many options back then. He didn't drink much, didn't steal, kept a low profile, had a clean reputation. No one remembered anything bad about him. Now, I understand why.
You want me to kill him?
That's right. I'll send you the coordinates. It's the house where he used to meet newcomers, to take them to Zalissya. The bastard.
So a number of problems in the town, the main one being the former town guide was a Monolithian the whole time. Also, the town mechanic seems to have some sort of bad injury, and the bartender of the town, Warlock, is also working on something. So Skif had a walk around and decided to talk to the residents to find out more detail as to what's happening.
You alright?
What happened to Lenz?
The old boy took the brunt of the attack. When things went haywire, he held the workshop single-handed.
Can I help?
I don't know how Lenz is still alive, to be honest. The artifacts have been keeping him on life support, but he's not gonna last much longer. He's gotta get surgery, but I was so fucking busy with the wonders of the zone that I didn't even notice someone stole my kit. I have a spare stored in one of the gaffer's stashes for a rainy day, though. Well, that rainy day is here, but everyone's too busy to help.
Got any idea who swiped your kit?
No clue. Not everyone was eager to be a hero when the Monolithians showed up. So if you try to hunt down the thief among the dozens of refugees, you might run out of time to save Lenz.
If I come across your instruments, I'll grab them.
I'll give you the coordinates of 3 stashes. One of them should have my package. Please don't take too long. Lenz is strong, but without surgery, wouldn't expect any miracles.
So the town doctor has tasked us with also finding his surgical kit, as the town mechanic took the brunt of the Monolithian assault. We now have this task and the task of killing the former town guide. However, for the meantime, Skif continues to talk to the town residents to find out more details.
Whoa! Are you with us?
Seems like you could use a hand.
I sure could. Gaffer and I are trying to turn this kindergarten into something that could actually stand up to those Monolithians. Our plan is ambitious, but it won't mean squat without some gear. And while I'm wrapped up in this mess, there are 2 other issues on my plate. First, there's Hamster. He's holed up in the emission shelter, hoarding supplies like they're gold. Second, my precious gun is lost somewhere in the clutter at Lenz's workshop.
So what's the deal with you and Hamster?
He's a fucking rat. Hamster thinks he can ride this out with that guard of his and keep his stockpile of supplies. He's living high on the hog while the rest of us are starving. Gaffer may not see eye to eye with me, but if you ask me, not helping out in a situation like this is just as bad as pointing the gun at us.
What's so special about your gun?
Well, I had my baby since back when I went to Intar with Gaffer. She's seen a lot. Besides, when everyone else is lucky to get rusty old junk from Hamster's stash, a good gun is worth its weight in gold.
Sounds easy enough. So it's all here in Zalissya.
If I send you on some wild goose chase, I know you probably wouldn't bother coming back, huh? And what would I have you do out there anyway? Make a run to the slag heap and back? Take on the ward at a pontoon bridge?
After talking to Warlock, the town bartender, we learned that the town merchant, Hamster, is hiding in the emission bunker, hoarding all of his supplies and refusing to share them. Also, Warlock's gun was left in the mechanic's workshop during the chaos. However, right now, we're going to see the rat they call Hamster and trying to convince him to share some of his supplies in this emergency.
Don't come any closer.
Keep it down! Who's there? Oh, it's you. Apologies, but at the moment my trading assets are, let's say, frozen. But thanks for stopping by. Take care and goodbye.
Not so fast. Why aren't you with the rest of the Zalissya stalkers?
They're just pissing those fanatics off. Holed up in that house, shooting back, thinking my goods are gonna help them pull through. Nah, I'll pass. The 2 of us are better off here.
The Gaffer needs supplies. Can we work something out?
I've got security covered for another year. Plenty of food and gear too. You've got nothing to offer me.
Hey you, how much is he paying you for security?
That's a trade secret.
Why? You want to offer me more, Stalker?
You heard me right. This is for protecting the Gaffer's house.
It's a deal.
You bastard! What about our contract? It's a fucking mercenary code. We had an agreement. I paid you in advance.
In times like these, the only code that matters is survival. Your greed is going to get us both killed way before the Monolith shows up. You're not a hamster, you're a fucking rat. This way, I can at least help some decent folks. Especially if they're willing to pay me more.
Come on, this ain't right. I'll double it, okay?
If you double it...
The last time Skif and Hamster would have spoken, Skif was a broke rookie stalker. However, now Skif is a quite wealthy stalker, with 6 grand being no problem for him to pay. Next of all, Skif headed to the mechanic's workshop to find Warlock's gun, but was greeted with a little surprise. The town's residents pulled together to fight the Phantom.
They're watching us. Up there on the hill, you see? Wish I could get them to scram, but I can't even come close to hitting them.
So another task added to Skif's growing list, as he is informed by this Zalissya resident that there is a group of Monolithian scouts on the ridge scoping out the town. But first things first, Skif will continue looking for Warlock's gun and then deal with the scouts afterwards. Into the workshop, but where's the gun? Skif thought to himself. There it is, and a hefty looking gun too. And Skif thought to himself, perhaps he might give it a little test run while clearing the Monolithians off of the ridge. So just on from where these enemy scouts are camped, we can see one of the locations of the stashes given to us by the doctor that may contain the surgical kit. But first things first, Skif will take care of these Monolithians. These Monolithians almost got Skif as they peppered him with bullets. However, as you know, Skif always gets the job done. And he did decide, once he was up on the ridge, to check out the location sent to him by the town doctor to see if his surgical kit was in fact at the location sent. So Skif turns out to be first time lucky, as the surgical kit is in fact in the stash. He now has what the town doctor needs to perform the surgery on Lenz, which will mean he will live, hopefully. He also has Warlock's gun. He has secured supplies for the town through the old town vendor, killed a phantom dog, and killed a group of Monolithian scouts. He returned as night approached to bring the surgeon his surgery kit and Warlock his gun. He decided to finish off his to-do list in the morning.
I think this belongs to you.
Oh, yes! My baby. You're a peach! Here, take this. I'll toss in some extra coupons when I get the chance. I'll always keep a bottle ready for you.
Are you alright?
These the instruments you were talking about?
That's right, Stalker. Thank you. You'll have to talk to the gaffer about your reward. I need to get Lenz ready for surgery right away. Hey, Lenz, I've got good news. You hear that, buddy?
In the morning, Skif would begin his hunt for the former town guide. The next morning, Skif began pursuing his target. As he hit the road though, he noticed to his left the old bar from Zalissya, the very same bar from his dream. As he looted the dead, he reminisced about the first time he walked into this place. What a shambles it looked now. However, the place is still structurally sound, and perhaps one day it will be back to its former glory. But for right now at least, the place is in ruins. Skif then thought to himself, would he ever get out of this place? Would he ever get back to the mainland? Would he ever be able to buy a new house? Lord knows, he's a rich man in the zone, and he's made a lot of money since being here. However, he still had a job to do, so he got back on the road. The gloomy and rainy weather returned as Skif continued his descent south towards his prey. Skif took a moment to rest and took refuge from the rain under an old bus stop. He could see he wasn't far now from the old guide's house. What would he find? He continued on. He could see the old house ahead of him, and upon investigation, he could hear voices from within.
What the hell?
As Skif dispatched the residents, he thought to himself, these don't look like Monolithians. He looted the dead before continuing his investigation inside. Skif finds an old note from a rookie to the former Zalissya guide expressing appreciation.
The Monolith's will has not been done. Zalissya shall fall. Few infidels remain. No one should be left alive. No one should stand in the Monolith's path. Complete your mission. It's time for our final prayer.
And with that, a Monolithian ambush ensued. Skif quickly looted the hut and assumed a defensive position. And so Uncle Leonia's dead body laying in front of Skif, and he wasn't sure did he shoot him, but someone definitely did, as you can see from the wounds to his stomach. And after looting and getting some pretty good loot from the old town guide, Skif returns north to Zalissya to inform the gaffer of his success. Waste not, want not, Skif thought to himself as he shamelessly looted this grave. Skif arrived back at Zalissya, having encountered no trouble on the road. He must now find the gaffer and inform him of his success.
I did what you asked.
I knew I could count on you. What about Warlock's request?
I've got everything you asked for.
You can leave it here. I told Hamster not everyone's as nice as me. I bet Warlock's gonna be cuddling that gun every night. I hear Lenz is gonna make it. Thanks. The Monolithians follow their preachers. When a Hydra loses its head, it takes a little while for it to grow back. It's gonna be easier for us now. Thank you.
You're all a bunch of crooks. Thief. Every single...
However, it wasn't long before word spread of an encroaching Monolithian force, and before long, all-out war broke out.
Once I reload, you're finished!
A deathly silence before the fighting continued. Skif finally killed the last Monolithian and returned to the town hall.
If it weren't for Gaffer and Warlock, we'd be warm food by now.
Skif checked on the surviving residents,
Are you alright?
because he knew how many people he's seen dead out on the streets. Quite a lot of Zalissya residents bravely fought and died today. Skif felt very fatigued as he had had another long day, which ended in all-out warfare. As Skif woke the following morning, it appeared the consequences of what just happened were just dawning on the gaffer.
Lost too many people.
Exactly. And for what? So you can huddle up in the corner and cry over their sorry fate? We have to rebuild Zalissya for them.
Damn it, Warlock. You're right. We'll rebuild Zalissya. And this time, we'll teach them better. We'll protect them better. Thank you, Skif. You're the only one who came to our aid. No reward can truly express our gratitude, but still.
Well, there you have it. A dream turned premonition brought Skif down to the lesser zone, to a town called Zalissya, where he once again saves the day and gets the job done. However, if you want to know what happens next in Skif's journey, tune in to episode 12 of my S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 series.